All right, bang, bang. Today is Wednesday. It's October 9th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Another free swim in your ears and on the YouTube/Rumble machine. How is everybody doing today?
I feel like this is an NPR kind of therapy podcast or something.
You are now listening to the soothe sounds of the Dog Walk free swim from Eddie.
You know, you could say what you want about NPR, but they do a great job at making it sound soothing.
Sure.
Like even the Sweaty Balls skit is great on the ears.
I wonder how it's... Do they find people that already talk like that, or do they coach you into talking like that?
It's a good question. So when I was a strip club DJ... Laugh, please.
Pause for laughter.
All right, yes, pause for yes. Get the laugh track machine out, Lance. You know, they have a distinct cadence. And I asked them before I started, I was like, do you like talk like that on purpose? Does someone coach you to do that? They're like, dude, once you get into the game, it just comes out. And he was right. He was right.
So like somebody had to start it way back when.
Yeah.
And then it just became like the ubiquitous strip club DJ voice.
Yeah, I think so.
Same as like any broadcast voice. You can't get on there and sound like me. You can't just be like, oh man, up to bat is blah, blah, blah. Like you have to, from your forefathers before you, there's a way to do it.
But it does change over time too. Like if you've heard like the old like newsreel clips, like where they're talking about, like the horses and the boxers are talking like this. And, and then somewhere along the way, people started talking more normally.
Yeah, they sounded kind of like an auctioneer at first.
Yeah.
And now they let it flow, but emotion seems key.
The Allies have invaded Normandy.
It's crazy how things have changed in that respect, right?
In what respect?
It used to be a thing where accents were frowned upon. Like if you had an accent, you're not doing anything. You coached yourself away from the accent to get work.
Oh, I still think that's a thing.
To a degree.
Yeah.
But I do think...
I think there are people who have particular accents who sound dumber than they are.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
But I do think that the media landscape is starting to realize that
The authenticity is valued more than like a perfect sounding voice.
yeah, you don't like if we all sound the same, then everyone is just wallpaper.
Yeah, you know? there's a balance there. There should be a balance there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong. You probably don't want the strongest Boston accent.
Well, I was just gonna say, like I think I'm good on movies set in Boston for a while.
but I'm fine with movies. But I guess if you were listening to NPR.
Yeah, but I listened to Theo Vaughn yesterday, had the head of the Teamsters Union, Sean O'Brien, and he's got like this very thick Boston accent, and he can pull it off because he's like both a suit and a street guy, and it comes across pretty well, at least in my opinion. But then you've got like, I don't know, I hear some other Boston people, I'm like, ugh, like shut up, like get away from me. I can't listen to this anymore.
Yeah.
I feel that way about the Chicago, like a real thick Chicago one, real thick Southern one. If it's like too much, then I gotta like tune you out. Philly. Yeah, Philly's tough. Baltimore's tough.
I like them all in their own regard.
New York's tough. They're all kind of.
But yeah, if they're depends what you're going for that day.
I would say the sneaky worst one is like the California, Colorado, like snowboard, skateboard guy. Like they have their own, like that culture has an accent.
A lot of people used to say you sounded like that. Remember that?
People say I sound Canadian more than
you do got a little
I
Canadian.
That,
yeah,
for sure.
But I don't hear that.
On that note, I would like to interrupt this program to talk about Portillo's.
Hey.
Oh, hell yeah.
Portillo's just launched their newest cake flavor in 20 years. The salted caramel spice cake. 2 layers of moist spice cake paired with a creamy salted caramel frosting that combines sweetness and fall spices to bring out the best in both flavors. Yes, of course, you can get a salted caramel cake shake. A whole piece of salted caramel cake is mixed into a creamy, dreamy vanilla shake that's perfect for a fall day. It's available for a limited time, only this fall. Stop in and try a slice, whole cake, or a cake shake today.
I hated that ad read. I hated it, which is a shame because I love Portillo so much, and that salted caramel cake shake that we had down in Indy was awesome.
I just talked to Portillo's. They loved the ad read.
No, you didn't.
Just for a one-time only. They don't want me to turn into NPR.
Yep.
They said you assaulted our salted caramel milkshake.
Yeah.
at Ad Read.
But on a real note,
Danny's rocking the merch right now too.
yes, you are. Great timing.
His first time ever wore the Jardiniere crew neck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's a big day.
I got a compliment walking. I was walking across that into Whole Foods. I was crossing what was that, Lincoln or Ashland, and I had headphones in, and someone was waving at me, and so I'm like, what's up? They're like, love that sweatshirt. I was like, thanks.
It's a great sweatshirt.
Yeah.
You can buy it at Portillo's.com, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also order Portillo's at Portillo's.com. Head to your local Portillo's to satisfy your Chicago-style cravings today.
So off that ad read, I can actually get into this. There was a couple who sat next to me at the bar. I just went to grab a bite, watch the first couple innings on Sunday of Mets Phillies, and he was like, "Got any pizza recommendations for down here in River North?" And he said he already did last time he was here. He already did the Lou's, Giordano's, and then I was like, "Well, have you tried a beef?" He's like, what kind of beef? I'm like, an Italian beef. He's like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, put the deep dish on hold.
Brother.
And there was a Portillo's, right, the one on Ontario. I sent him down that way. It's like, you got to go try an Italian beef before you leave anywhere.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
And then I don't know if you saw this, but going off that, these same people.
Wait, did this guy know who you were?
No.
Oh, it was just random.
Were you watching? You went to watch a game alone at a bar?
I went to eat. A friend came, but then I stuck around till the 5th. Should have left after the 3rd. You know how that goes. But then I tweeted about this, and on the other side of this couple at the bar, there was a man who I later learned was a Barstool fan. So I'll put this factually, no opinionated. There's loud people in the world, and there's quiet people in the world. And sometimes when quiet people get drunk, they're loud, and when loud people get drunk, they're even louder. This guy was a loud person, and he had got back from the Bears game. He's a couple deep. He gets in this place. He's hooting. He's hollering. I think he had a bet involving the Chargers or something. So every time they got a yard, he was screaming. Threw a couple swears in there, which kind of adds a different layer. It's one thing to be screaming in the bar, but when you're swearing a little, it gets a little aggressive. And on the other side of me, so it's me, the couple, loud guy on their side, and then on my right is what appears to be a regular, older guy, probably 60, talking it up with the bartender. The loud guy goes to the bathroom, and at this point, the regular gets up. He throws the loud guy's empty beer in the garbage and then proceeds to throw the loud guy's sunglasses in the garbage and walks out of the bar. And now this guy's still in the bathroom, so he comes back, and I'm thinking this guy is going to ask us where his sunglasses went, and we're going to have to tell him to check the trash. And that's exactly what happened. But in that instance, I was thinking, what would you have done if the regular stayed? Do you rat, or do you just kind of point to the regular and be like, maybe you want to take this question here? You did it. Aggressive move.
A very aggressive move, but also kind of a little bitch move if you're just going to get up and leave. If you're going to do that, you should probably sit back in your seat and be like, they're in the trash, you're being a loud asshole, and then deal with the consequences.
Yeah, it was a hit and run.
Yeah, you can't do that because then what if you suspected it was you? Then you're in trouble.
Right.
I hate everything about this story.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you don't know who's right, who's wrong.
And
Everyone's wrong.
let me just assume the loud guy was the stoolie.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you come to find that out?
He was like, I recognize you from somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And did he keep yelling after, or was he?
He calmed down later. I don't think it was because of that. I think he just got it all out of his system. It seemed like he started drinking at 10 a.m. and he was finally starting to get a little hungover or something.
See, here's the thing. What's the goal of the regular? To not get that guy come to your regular spot anymore? Understandable, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think throwing his sunglasses away gets that message across. That just means, oh, I misplaced them, or oh, someone stole them. It could happen at any bar in Chicago.
Even worse, Chief was saying, the regular was kind of a baby. That was his way of getting back at the guy. I don't know if his goal was to not get him out of it there.
Did he
not have him come
say
back.
anything, make any comments to the guy while they were both there?
No.
All right, then I'm on. I hate to be on the screamer side, but I'm on the screamer side. The regular stop, that's your regular bar. If you want to tell that guy, hey, take it fucking easy, you're within your rights to do that.
Yeah, I
But to
think so.
throw a sunglass away, that's not even a good method to get that
No.
guy not to come back or to shut up. That's just going to come back as you be confused.
Just think of it as someone like punching a wall. Like, what does that accomplish? Nothing. You're just getting the rage out. That's what I thought about when he was throwing
all right.
sunglasses out.
All right.
I threw
Counterpoints?
a fucking haymaker at my laundry machine over the weekend.
Probably deserved it.
It did. It's completely broken.
Where's my fucking socks?
Nah, it's broken. I had to buy a new one.
Well, because you punched it?
No, that was me trying to fix it, trying to open it, trying to get something to work. It wouldn't work. I mean, I didn't do anything to it, but hurt my hand a little bit. But it was like pure fucking rage. I'm out of clothes. I am out of clothes.
I feel like this happens to you once every 2 years.
I had the belt break on it right when I moved, like a month after I moved in, and then it's been fine since then. Actually, it might have happened in my old.
It did.
Yes,
We
because-
had a whole thing where you were shaming laundromats.
Yes, we were going
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
film a video of you at the laundromat.
Because there was that when I lived on Thomas Street, there was that one right on Western.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one had broken as well. But yeah, so I guess it was 2 years, and then it would have been every 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
You need to
I've had
invest in
bad
your
luck with
appliances.
that. So what's that?
You need to invest in your appliances.
Well, brother, I just had to pay $3,200 because I had to get a dishwasher as well. So it was one big nut.
We'll win
this
it all
morning.
back this weekend.
That actually kind of helped. I had a big weekend gambling on the Bears, so I covered 2/3 of it with gambling winnings, and then Eddie and I did an event in Indiana, and that's kind of covering the rest, I think.
There you go.
So
There you go.
yeah, but still, it's so fucking annoying.
Did you say how this got settled though? Back to this story. Like, what did he say when he got out? Or you just told him?
He asked the woman that the guy from out of town was with, and she was just like, this guy threw him in the garbage. I wasn't sure if you knew him or something, or if he was coming back. And he played it off as good as you could. He was like, they're like a cheap pair of sunglasses. And then eventually, like 5 minutes later passes, and you're like, you know what? That does piss me off.
Duh.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But there's really no one can answer why that happened for you. Sorry, but like he doesn't get any closure out of the situation because the guy left.
See, I feel like you could have stepped in as a bar patron and
Yeah.
let him know why the guy probably did that.
I think, yeah, but he wasn't really asking in the first place, and I'm not gonna be there to be like, well, maybe if you shut the fuck up. I think he knew why and was like, fuck it, like I'm a positive vibes guy. I'm gonna scream all I want, and that's just kind of what you got to take if you're gonna be like, people aren't gonna like it.
I think that is like a big time self-awareness problem for loud people. They think sometimes they're being vibes guys, and then it's like, no, you're actually just bothering everybody. Like you're bothering everyone.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be the one to break his spirit. So
Like, vibes is not connected with high energy every time
No.
yeah,
No.
at all.
Right. Just make funny jokes.
just be in a good mood.
Yeah.
So that's tough. I think we could also spin this to the fact that it's always satisfying when we have one of these shows and everyone's against you and then the whole internet is behind your side. People were right behind me on that opener's take that you guys just fucking followed Tom.
I got the
like
opposite.
little weenies
No, I got
The
the
openers
opposite.
take. Oh,
about the concert openers.
Also, somebody DM'd me saying that for the specific concert you went to, it was right there basically on the ticket that there was openers.
No, it wasn't.
That's what the guy, I hope I didn't delete it.
Lance, weren't the people on my side.
but what is your take exactly? Because my take is we've always known that you give the opener at least an hour and a half, and you were like, "What's the deal with these openers cutting in all the concert
My
time?"
take
Like,
was
that's always
my
how it's
take
been.
was sometimes you see it. Like I remember specifically if you go to Tinley Park, for instance. Like I went to Luke Bryan in high school, and it was like, all right, Ban Perry, Dierks Bentley, Luke Bryan. You know what you're getting into. This just said Dashboard Confessional 6:30. That's all it said.
But no, I think I would see that and assume that they're not going on till 8. All right, off the bat.
But you don't know for sure. So you're in a
But I would be, if I chose to show up at 8 o'clock and it turned out Dashboard Confessional really came on at 6:30, I'd be like, you know what? That's on me because 90% of the time they start an hour and a half later, so I'll cut my losses and I miss the first couple Dashboard Confessional songs.
But I don't want to cut my losses. I want to be there for them.
But I think it's on you to really look into the fact
Yeah, I
that
think
there's
it
an
takes
opener or not.
2 seconds of research.
Yeah, I think you assume there's always going to be an opener and they're going to take at least an hour.
Well, I didn't realize, and people say I'm not like an avid concert goer. I didn't realize, and a lot of people helped me out, and from going forward, I will do this. If you call the venue the day of, I guess, they will tell you exactly what time everything happens, which is good to know. And for people out there listening, could know that.
I think like 90% of the time you account for an opener taking up the first hour.
But there are people who don't do openers. But
that's the 10%.
I went to Sturgill Simpson on Wednesday. He had no opener.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a non-zero.
But I still
chance.
got there at 7.
What time,
6:45.
what time did it start?
7.
Okay.
Yeah, I played from 7 to 10.
Lance, come to my defense here.
What's the defense?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I saw a lot of people agreeing with you, which I was kind of confused by because I kind of agree with Danny and Chief. Like, I feel like everybody knows that there's going to be an opener, and it typically is about an hour and a half. And then I saw a bunch of people offering advice on how to fix it, and I was just like, I can't believe that many people have run into this problem. But initially when we posted the clip, I will say a lot of people came to Eddie's defense.
But saying what? That they don't like the opener either? Because that's not what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I want to see the main act, but I just know the opener.
Yeah.
I think they got duped and like tricked by the same thing Eddie did, and they're like, yeah, I've been in the same scenario, it sucked, it was terrible, they need to like
So
announce
you got a band of morons coming to your defense.
Not at all. And listen, even if it's 10%, that's 10% too much. If you are not announcing openers, you have to announce them.
Hey,
That's it.
hold on. This goes back to, why don't you just go and enjoy the concert?
Because I'm not going for them.
Yeah, but like it's still just live music. Like, have you ever been to a bar where there's a band? Sometimes it's fun.
I don't care. I want to see who I want to see.
You're going to see them anyway.
I'm not there to discover new music. If I want to discover new music, I'd go on fucking TikTok.
All right, but how about this? The band that you're there to see has decided that they like that other band's music good enough for them to be on tour with them for months at a time and open with them. So maybe you should open your mind and open your heart and your ears a little bit and just sit back and enjoy. You don't have to pay close attention. Go get yourself a couple of drinks and just relax.
The world is your explore page.
Yeah, just chill.
This is not a thing where you can go to the concourse and hang out. It is a
Tell him he
standing
doesn't know
room
how to
only
chill.
concert. It's a standing room only concert. What are you going to do? There's nothing you could do.
I guess just complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to discover new music is not the point of going to concerts. It's going to see the band that you want.
All right, so wait.
Yeah, but
Dashboard said 6:30, right?
Yes.
And what time do they actually go on?
They went on 8:30,
And what time?
8:30?
What time did the concert end?
10.
10.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think of it this way: you go in knowing the concert usually ends around 10. So like, and then you would know that Dashboard isn't gonna be playing for 4 hours straight. So then that way you assume there's an opener.
When I go to a baseball game, I know what time first pitch is. When I go to a hockey game, I know when puck drop is.
Yeah, but concerts.
When I go to an NFL game, I know when they're going to kick the ball. It is reasonable.
And when you go to a
for me to
concert,
want to go
you
to
know
an
there's an
event
opener.
and know what time it starts. Roughly. Look
How
at
about-
Chief's
how-
brains thinking now. I see the fucking.
But again,
chains
to
move.
that, I would say if you want to
Wait,
know when
when
it
you-
starts, take out an hour and a half.
How about if you go to a boxing match, you don't necessarily know when it starts, and you have opening acts for boxing and UFC? Do you
Yeah,
guys
but they
feel
give
the
you-
same way?
They give you the card every time before.
This card with the opener was available on the internet.
It was not available to me.
The whole internet
not.
The internet was not available to you.
Nope. it
The
was
internet
not.
was not available to you.
It was not. I bought a flash special from Live Nation.
The internet was not available to you to look up. Is that what you're saying?
I shouldn't have to. I bought the tickets. They should tell me. I should do no research to this.
Oh, I see. I think I always do research when I'm going to a concert. I like to know what the
Well, you had a great comparison last time, the movie with the trailers. The only difference is you actually enjoy trailers where you don't enjoy openers, but it's the
But
same
what
thing.
about my point about puck drop? Is that not a good point? No one said anything about that.
No, because I don't think concerts are
totally
comparable
different
to a
thing.
hockey game
Yeah.
because there's typically always
Then why you
openers at a concert.
I think the UFC boxing is a pretty good one. Those
Eric
are,
Church doesn't do openers. He rips fucking 3 hours of music.
Well, then you show up there at whatever time that starts.
to each their own.
Then it probably says he's starting at 7. And you can assume that because he's going to end at 10. But if it starts at 5:30, then you assume there's an opener because he's not going to be playing 5 hours of music.
It's not hard to be like 6:30 to 7 is this band, 7 to 8 is this band, 8 to whatever is this.
So
That's all I'm saying. It's not hard.
When I went to Sturgill, the day of or maybe the day before, I went on because he's in like the middle of the tour to see what and he played the night before at the Salt Shed. He played Tuesday and Wednesday. I went to see what the set list was. And they will always say, when you do 5 seconds of research, what the set list is, if there's openers, everything like that.
All right. Agree to disagree, I guess.
Yes.
As always. All right, you said at the start of the show you have a serious take that you're dying to get out. Was that it? Or
That wasn't it.
Okay, new take.
I almost want to fucking kick it to next week since you guys, I could already tell your brains are stupid today.
No, my brain's smart.
I don't regret anything I just said.
Same. I feel sharp. Go ahead, say it. Yeah, I think he knows he's gonna get
No.
shoved in a locker.
I have a good list here. I've been really taking the notes lately. So I'll bring up another
Bring
thing.
Bring up your fucking take.
No, I'm not going to do it because you guys have your heels dug in.
No,
Come on,
is this a related thing?
Oh, yes, and you.
No, it's not related at all.
All right.
Then how do you know how?
I want to be team.
I'm not argumentative for the sake of being argumentative. I disagree with you about this.
I don't think you disagree as much as you're leading on. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but see, like, are we arguing over do you want to see the opener or not? I might not want to see the opener. I agree with you in that sense, but I know when the opener is playing.
All right,
It's before the main act.
Also, thinking that the main act is going to go on at 6:30.
Right, that's what I mean. If you go in knowing like, oh, they usually end at 10, well then
there's
someone
no
is gonna be
way
taken
that
up there.
dashboard is going on at 6:30.
Why not? Maybe they
Playing
like
for
to
four-
fucking go to bed early. Maybe they want
Yeah,
to
rock stars like to go to
wanted
bed
to get
early.
the last
Yeah.
reservation at Pavette's before the fucking closes.
Yeah.
Go on, get your steam off with your other takes.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. So, I am over, and I would like to start to discredit people who like everything when it comes to food. Here's my point. You look confused. You should be.
I
haven't
confused.
elaborated
Yeah.
yet. So, you know how if someone gives a take about food and they're like, he's really picky, I wouldn't trust him. And it's understandable. But if someone likes everything, to me, they lack the critical thinking to know what's good as well.
I think there's something to that.
Yes.
There's got to be a happy medium because if you're an adult and you're a picky eater, then I think that you're just an immature idiot. But if you're what you're saying on the other end of the spectrum, then it's just like you're saying everything's awesome because you like to say everything's awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you want to be a foodie.
I have a friend who will puff his chest about eating everything. He's a garbage disposal. He'll just, conveyor belt it in like Fred Flintstone, doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I admittedly, there are some things I'm picky about. Okay? But I'm like, you know what? On the reverse, who's to say that this is good just because that's how it's done? For instance, and I came with examples here. There was like a barbecue chicken pizza. I don't like red onions.
Okay.
I don't like red onions. So I got half of it without red onions.
Mm-hmm.
And they came and they brought the whole pizza with red onions. Okay? Sucks. So he was like, guess I'll just eat it with red onions. I'll have more flavor. And I was like, listen, I don't think you necessarily believe that. You're just taking it how it comes and acting like it's superior because of that reason.
I think you might be talking about Lance. They get his order wrong, and he's like, I think it's still pretty good.
Not true. Not true. I can't stand mushrooms.
Yeah,
if there's mushrooms on my stuff, I'm out. I'll pick it off. Sometimes I'm not going to bitch about stuff, but like a pizza, if I ordered a pizza and I ordered pepperoni and they came back with mushrooms, I'm sending it back. No shot.
Yeah. Because, for instance, there are things that I've gotten to the point of it's like, it's not even that I think they're gross and I won't touch them. I just don't get what they add. Does that make sense?
I have always had a thing about red onions too, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I think if I did a blind taste test, I probably couldn't tell the difference. But I don't like them. There's just something about them that I don't like, and I'm like actively trying to get over it. So I do sympathize. I don't know what
you smell the shit and I'm stopping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going back to your first example where it's like, don't ask him because he's a picky eater. To play devil's advocate, though, it's like if someone doesn't like Indian food, then you obviously can't ask their opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like in that sense, that's fair to not ask them. It's like if you didn't like barbecue, I'm not going to ask, what do you think of this barbecue place? Because I know you don't like it to begin with.
Okay, but
that goes to what I'm saying too. And it's like, what do you mean you don't like Indian food? You don't like barbecue? Those are huge categories. You can't find anything on the menu that you like from an Indian place. Like,
well, if
that
you don't like barbecue sauce, then I could see why you don't like barbecue.
Yeah, but you can get a sausage. You can get, like, if you're going to Green Street Meats, like, it's not like it's all slathered in sauce, because I'm not huge on barbecue sauce either. Like, find something. Like, I don't want to, if we're planning an event, you're like, like, I don't like that type of food, like, grow up. Like, you can find something on the menu that you like.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Well, then boil it down to, like, if something has red onions. You can't ask someone who doesn't like red onions, what do they think of this red onion pizza? Because they're obviously going to say it's bad when it's not to someone who does like red onions.
What if it was like a sweet onion or a yellow onion that was on that pizza?
So generally, I don't like raw onions at all.
Same.
Okay. I don't like raw onions. I like grilled onions, like at Sox Park or White Castle, shit like that. Like, I'm cool with them. But for the most part, I'm not in on onions.
Yeah, raw onions to me is like, do you really like them enough to where you know your breath is going to be fucked the rest of the day?
Are they raw on a pizza? I feel like they throw.
No, I'm just saying in onions. You gave I gave
not
my whole
White Sox Dave D Rose take a bite out of an onion like an apple. Yeah,
and I don't feel like a baked onion is the same as a grilled onion.
No, it'll be a little bit more translucent if it's grilled.
Yeah, and it has more of that raw texture and that raw taste to me.
Yeah, I don't mind that. So my like go-to pizza order would be either pepperoni or sausage with green pepper and onion. That's like my favorite. So you get a little sweetness, you get the heat from the meat, and you're good to go.
To counter, would you say most professional, well-known food critics kind of like everything?
Do you have an example?
I don't know. Like, what does Gordon Ramsay hate? Like, I'm sure he could stomach pretty much anything. And
I'm sure they do, though. I'm sure they stomach it, but I'm sure there are ingredients where they're like, there's no point for this. There has to be. And listen, someone created that pizza for a reason, right? Like, I assume someone had that flavor. But at the same time, I just think some of the people who eat everything and look down on some of the pickier eaters lack the critical thinking of like, do I really like this, or am I just eating this and pretending like I do because this is how they serve it?
I think there's definitely. All right. So as an example, White Sox Dave and I went to that super fancy restaurant. It's on Ashland. I don't even want to call them out because I feel like it's a high quality place. They have Michelin stars and everything. It was a very cool experience. I didn't think any of the food tasted awesome. Like, it looked cooler and the presentation was cool, which made it worth it. But like, it wasn't like one of the top meals I've ever had in my life, flavor, taste wise. But it's like obviously well-renowned place. They have Michelin stars. But it's like the actual flavors, the actual food themselves. It was like 12 courses of little tasting things, like some kind of balloon marshmallow fucking dessert thing. It was wild. It was wild that they could actually make food do that, but the food wasn't good. I'd rather go to Bavette's and have the duck fat fries, you know? So is that kind of what you're talking about? Because Dave was like, this is unbelievable. This is the best. This is incredible. I'm like,
I actually have a Dave example. It just hit me now, and he would want to legitimately strangle me if I said this, but I'm in a safe space. I don't have to listen to that chirping bird right now, so I'll get it off. It's the same thing with Johnny's, right? Like, we've been in the whole debate about is their jardinere hot? Is it not? Dave says it's not at all. Myself and a lot of people who grew up on it are like, yeah, Johnny's has a pretty hot jardinere, whatever.
Yeah.
Here's my thing about Johnny's too. It's not even that I think it's on the hotter side. It's just Johnny's is so good that I don't think the flavor of the beef needs it. I think it's so tasty, and I think it kind of takes away from the flavor of their au jus and their beef when you put heavy jarred on there. That's an instance where it's like, it's how it's supposed to be, like, you know.
Well, that's never, from my understanding, that was never the argument about.
No, it never was.
Yeah.
It never was. But it's something that I kind of really stewed on too, because
Because that's a much better argument than what you were saying.
Yes, yeah. So because what I do now when I go there is I'll get a side and I'll pour some oil on it and I'll be eating. And I was like, you know what? I don't even think this needs it. Like I think this beef stands on its own.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair argument.
Other
Yes.
people would say that the jardinere makes it taste even better than it already tastes. Though.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
where I would be. So I don't hate your argument, but I still like it with the jarred.
That's fine.
Right.
That's just a difference of opinion.
Correct.
Same thing with me. I'll eat pepperoni pizza, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of doesn't do anything for me though.
Oh,
Now I've never had the what's the Prince Street pepperoni that like cups up.
yeah.
I'm intrigued by that. I've never really had that, but I feel like that there's a large amount of pepperoni where I'm like,
You don't.
give me cheese. Don't think it does anything for me. It just gives me more heartburn.
I mean, it definitely has flavor. It has a little spice. Has a little different texture.
Sometimes I don't think it does.
I mean, you might have like long COVID or something.
I'm telling you.
Long coat.
Sometimes I don't think it does. I think obviously not all pepperoni is created equal.
Yeah.
Some places are buying higher quality pepperoni
Sure.
than others.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
sure
think
Domino's is having bottom of the barrel
sure,
shit. Yeah.
sure. I'm not even talking about Domino's. I'm talking about legitimate places. But
I'm a cheese guy when it comes to pizza through and through. It's more so because I think whenever you get toppings, sausage, pepperoni, that's when it starts getting a little wild. Like it's harder. Half the cheese is going to come off because the pepperoni is connected to half this slice, not that. It disrupts the flow.
Makes
of
it messier, for
eating
sure.
a slice of pizza.
yeah. Whereas I think sausage always changes the game a little bit. I just think there is a contingent
I
of
probably
bland
prefer-
pepperoni out there.
I probably prefer Italian sausage, but it has to be like the crumble Italian sausage.
Yeah, sausage is weird, right? Where I think there's certain places where I'll get sausage, and certain places where I won't.
Yeah.
You could just size it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right, sounds like
that's
take
an
went over
okay
a little
take.
better than I thought.
Yeah. It's an okay take.
I think some people, like, for instance, one of the weirdest things that you do is you get the hot dog plain every time.
Yeah.
That's an more extreme example.
I
So
do that
some-
at stadiums.
Someone like White Sox Dave, they're saying, and myself, I would say this too, is like when you think of the hot dog experience, you think of all those toppings on it, and that's what makes the flavor. Same with people who want pepperoni and sausage on their pizza, whereas you are more focused on, like you said, just the beef, no peppers, just the dog, no toppings.
Yeah.
Your experience of a dog is
And listen,
different.
when it comes to the hot dog, that's a me problem. I'll fully admit that. I just don't like a lot of the condiments that go on a hot dog.
I like it in the right setting. But if I'm at a stadium where I'm on the move or something, I'm just getting it plain.
But that's like a messy factor for you,
That's
right?
you're right.
Oh yeah, that's not for me.
Oh, you just don't like
No,
it.
I just don't like.
So I do like it.
Those are the things that I'm actually picky about.
Okay.
Is just some toppings.
Yeah. Like
Not a yellow mustard guy. Not a raw onions guy, like I just said.
See a ketchup guy.
Don't like pickles.
But see, like at that point, I'm probably getting something else other than a plain hot
Yeah.
dog. Because that hot dog, I don't know, is good enough to stand alone as
See-
opposed to like a cheeseburger.
Fine, fine. That's
or
fair.
a brat.
I'm saying what other people are thinking.
Yeah.
That's fine.
When they give
I
you
get
shit, I
that.
think that's their mindset isn't so much, oh, you don't like any toppings? Just like, oh, why even get a plain hot dog? Like get a cheeseburger, get a beef.
I get that, but I genuinely enjoy and love a plain hot dog.
Interesting.
Like if if we're stacking up the fucking all-time leaderboards of Chicago hot dogs in this fucking city, I'm on there somewhere. I don't know how far I'm up, but
Yeah.
I was talking to Lance the other day. Actually, it's become a problem now. Whenever I go to Wrigley, my new norm is like 2 hot dogs.
Dude, that's how I set my record. Yeah, you get one like right when you get there, and then you have like a little, stretch dog.
Yeah, it's like when you hit college, like, oh shit, it takes me like 9 beers to get drunk now, not 6. It's like I'm not feeling satisfied until I have 2 dogs
Yeah.
at the game.
yeah.
This is how it is. This is the beginning of the end for me, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's the 2 hot dog meal once you graduate to that.
No more Happy Meals for me.
Yeah, exactly. You're a new man.
I'm a fat man now.
Yeah, you are.
Well, luckily,
Vulcan
baseball
season.
season's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. That's my
That's your take.
take of the day. Is I think
Justice for picky eaters.
in a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, I say that, but there's That's like my one thing. Like
Yeah.
I'll eat every cuisine for the most part.
Yeah. So you agree with what I said, where it's like if you have a group and they're like, we're ordering food or we're going out to dinner, and you're like, oh, we're going to this Indian place, and the person's like, oh, I hate Indian.
To a degree. Okay? To a degree. I think you could have preferences
Sure.
to be like, hey, like I don't love Indian food.
Right.
I'd prefer if we went somewhere else.
I think, I don't know what it is. Like, I came to Indian food later in life.
Yeah, you're King Indian.
I fucking
That's just
love,
false, but-
I love Indian
This
food.
guy says he orders Indian more than anything else.
Really?
What?
I think I would say probably my number one order, Uber Eats would be Indian food. And I do it more in the winter than
That's
anything else.
crazy.
So we're coming up on Indian food.
That's honestly crazy.
Why?
Who
I
are
don't know.
you?
It just
It's just random.
yeah, so
I feel like it travels so well.
But you got to understand though that Indian food is not like if you did the Venn diagram of people who eat Indian food, it's probably furthest away from the
But is that like
from the shore.
you go like drunk food out with it even?
No, it's like normally I'm home and eating a dinner.
Okay.
But I think that's a lack of education thing, because it's not. A lot of it's just like tomato-based sauces with rice.
I agree with
chicken,
that.
and lamb. Like, it's just like, if you have a problem with this, like, I don't know, like what's going on with you. Now, I could see people being like, I don't like curry. Well, that's fine. There's a shit ton of dishes that don't have curry.
And I think Indian food gets caught up in that trap.
Yeah,
With
that's
people
what I
think
mean.
it's only curry.
It's a lack of education.
Because I can honestly tell you, I don't know if I've sat down. If I've ever gone to an Indian restaurant in my life. Yeah, but there's like a curry shrimp type deal at Armitage Ale House that I had.
Mhm.
It was good. I liked
Yeah.
it. So I know I could find something there and I could like it.
Yeah,
I just feel like they got bad. Not
They got
bad.
They
but
got bad PR.
yeah,
sure.
like they're yeah.
And then when I've been to England a few times, and like the Indian food there is just on a whole different level. It almost, when I came home and I ordered it again, I'm like, damn, I'm going to be chasing that
that
forever.
dragon.
Yeah. Because it's so, like, because they have so many Indian people there in the history, and they're all just intermingled, and that's like their number one cuisine.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
It's like our Italian food.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate Dan here again. You said like, okay, there's multiple things to choose from on an Indian menu. You can't dislike them all. Take like hospital food, for example. There's tons of different items in the hospital food, but people will just be like, I don't like hospital food.
I think
There's
that's
just some restaurants, some kinds of food just have a certain glazing, a certain aroma around them that immediately turns you off, no matter what the specific type of food is.
But I think that's the setting, number one. Like, you're in a fucking hospital. Like, who wants to really like eat in a hospital bed? And number two, I don't think the quality of food is good.
I could switch it to like the Whole Foods hot bar. I've gotten so sick of it, it almost tastes like hospital food to me now. And you can have your choice of salad, chicken, rice, tacos. But I'm saying I don't like all of it because you know what I mean?
That makes sense to me. Like, I don't like the whole hot bar thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do you mean you don't like?
Something's kind of gross.
There's sandwiches. There's
Something's kind of gross.
burgers.
about it.
There's rice.
There's something about just food that's just sitting out for hours and hours and hours and hours is just like a turnoff.
Yeah, but I think there's fastballs and change-ups, and then there's other breaking pitches for a reason, right?
Yeah, I don't get what you're saying there.
Like, if you wanted to mix in Indian all the time, I could see people being like, I think Indian's a once in a while.
Well, what's once in a while? Once a month? Yeah, that's probably what I do.
Once a month.
Yeah,
there.
sure.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I typically will go out, grab dinner with my buddies every Sunday, and like
Family dinner.
that would be far too much. Like, if someone was consistently putting Indian in the bucket, I would be like, all right, like,
Yeah, but
let's take it easy.
right. So
Indian's an extreme example here.
well, like,
But this is
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I could.
That's a different storyline going on over
I
here.
say
keeping
this-
his Indian food addiction.
I know, but I say this because I know I could tell the way he talked that he's been in a group setting where he
Yeah.
pitched Indian, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I don't like Indian," and he's offended by that. Not
I am
offended, yeah.
offended by that, but because then it's like, but it would normally be like there was one person saying it, and then they go and they're like, "Oh, like, this is pretty good." Like, no shit, like, you're complaining for no reason because you don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's the other thing too. I really do judge people who won't try something. like just fucking try it.
Yeah.
You
Fair,
know?
yeah.
And that's what I've gotten really good at. Like I'll try,
Yeah.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
dealt with
totally.
you guys so many times.
Yep.
Is there anything that I've been glaringly like, oh no, I'm not touching that?
Not that I can recall.
Yeah. So it's not like I'm
Yeah.
overly picky. I just,
No, and and if I was in your group of buddies that they have this, we're going out on Sundays thing,
yeah.
I wouldn't be like banging the drum for any. I'm kind of a crowd pleaser, you know.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you guys should try it. It's fucking good,
Yeah. No,
delicious.
you're right though,
Yeah.
because there's definitely certain cuisines that people like
Yeah.
turn their nose up at.
Right,
Throw it in
and I was like that until I was probably 30.
Okay.
So,
Now you're sophisticated, and he's.
well, I tried it.
he's
It's not like it's like poor people food. Like that's like all the best food is poor people food. So it's not like I had like the idea of curry and whatever in my head, and then so I just was like I kind of dismissed it.
You ever seen that kid Luke Foods on Instagram?
No,
He eats food in a shirt and tie in his car.
no.
It's just like a goofy, funny, Instagram account, and he went super viral because he was in a shirt and tie, and he had tried Indian food for the first time, and his like eyes lit up, and like people are quoting it like it's like when a white man finds out all the flavor and spice.
Yeah, dude, that was me. That was me.
Yeah. So
Now
like,
I'm like the number one advocate.
yeah, like I'd like to try it. Maybe give me a couple spots. I should try.
All right.
It. I would like to test it out.
Heartbreak Kid gave Indian food a bad rep.
Who's that?
Was it Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller, or was that Along Came Polly?
Oh, I think that's
yeah,
Along
that was
Came
Along
Polly.
Came Polly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so did Tony Soprano. He got food poisoning.
Oh, I don't remember
I
that.
didn't eat food last night. Yeah, yeah. There's that. They get bad press for sure.
Yeah,
Diarrhea.
No
Yeah.
doubt about it.
but it's just fucking so good.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
All right, boys' night out, Indian food. Yeah,
That's such a funny
free swim
visual.
Indian food night.
Like I have but you have your cuisines that you're like, you have that.
I'm trying to think.
Don't say that because you do.
What would they be?
Like they're not in your rotation. Like, do you have like Greek in your rotation?
Oh, I love Greek.
Okay.
I did a Marry Fuck Kill Twitter poll that was it was Greek, Indian, and something else. It might have been Chinese as like my three, like, because I didn't want to put Italian or Mexican because those are obviously like gonna get, but those to me in my head are like pretty comparable. And I love Greek food. I love Greek food. Greek food's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a big Greek food guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Athenian Room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went there.
Mediterranean. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like one of those is and this is like people are gonna show up to my house with pitchforks, but I'm not the biggest Mexican food guy.
Well, you're kind of anti-spice, is what I'm learning.
It's not that I'm anti-spice. Here's my thing about Mexican food. And I know people are gonna jump on me for it. I feel like they lack a very strong side. Have I said this before?
No,
Yeah.
like a side to the meal.
Yeah.
I think that's. I mean,
Because I don't do the fucking soupy beans.
oh yeah, like the standard
Refried?
refried beans and rice is like a standard, but like if you go to,
And I do like Spanish rice. It's
Okay.
good. But
Yeah.
I feel like some places don't.
so I
Salsa, chips, and guac.
chips and guac. They have like the cheese dip. They have elotes. You don't like elote? I love elote.
And a lot of times you're just getting you might just be getting like 5 steak tacos, mini steak
Yeah.
tacos. You don't really need a side.
See, I disagree. I always need a little something different to dip into. I need to.
You don't like the chips?
What do you say?
Chips, salsa, chips, guac.
That's an appetizer to me.
Yeah. So are fries an appetizer to you?
No, fries aside.
Chips could be a side.
No.
The
Chips is not a
You
side.
just said you need
chips
something
are
to
the
dip
fry.
into. We got the perfect thing for you.
There's a reason why they take the chips away when the meal comes.
Oh no, they don't.
Well, they
just
ask
keep-
if you want it, or no
They'll-
one's touching them once the entree comes.
I don't agree with that either.
Yeah, nobody's touching the chips.
All right, get a quesadilla as your entree and a taco as your side. Like if you really need a side,
But that's not. Those are
What about elotes?
2-point guards.
What about
this is like American going to Italy. It's not exactly the same as how it was when I left. Like, yeah, you try different things.
Do you not like elotes? You don't know what they are, do you?
I do.
Tamales.
Seems like there's a lot going on with elotes.
No, there's not, dude. It's just like, tell me what elotes is.
Elotes is fucking corn.
Okay, all right.
With they slice it off and they
Yeah, it's like a little bowl with little cojita cheese and spice
cheese and cream cheese and
yeah, it's awesome.
yeah.
You don't like that? That's
Sour
a side.
cream.
So what are your sides when you go to like a standard diner? Hot dog, burgers.
Yeah, the fries,
Yeah, your standard size
tater
fry.
tots.
All right, chips aren't aren't comparable
Mean
to that.
potatoes, Stu Finer. You don't got 3 potatoes, you got none. But I did go to my first Mexican place that had a variation of Mexican potatoes, and it changed the game.
Really?
Yes.
Where was it?
It was on Milwaukee Avenue. It was called Mom's Old Recipe,
Okay.
and it was actually they had a good,
a good side.
had a good side.
Okay.
Yeah,
But that's I don't respect that pickiness of being like, I need a side. Like, you can have a side. It's just not fries. That's why you're disappointed.
no, because they do have fries,
All right, so there's your side.
but it's not. It doesn't.
It's not the
fit-
same as fries.
It doesn't fit with the cuisine.
Yeah, chips do. But you're for some reason discounting it as a side.
Chips are an appetizer.
So if you have fries beforehand, they're no longer a side. They're an appetizer.
No, not you're arguing exceptions now. You're arguing the
am.
10% now that you were arguing against in the concert debate.
Chips show up as a side on the menu at a Mexican place.
There's no way they come
Go to
standard.
Chipotle.
Most places they come and they take your order, and when they take your order, they're putting the waters down with the chips and salsa.
Chipotle?
Ah,
What? Taco Bell? Like, no, they're not doing that shit. I'm comparing it to like a hot dog place, like I said.
and I was comparing it to a sit down. I'm talking sit down.
Yeah, I don't respect that pickiness. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a side.
It's not pickiness. I like Mexican food. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Because
have
there's
your
no
favorite.
sides, so
Yeah.
it's picky.
I don't think
The,
that's
the
picky. I
reason you
think
don't
that's
like it
a-
is because there's no sides. If
No,
you were like,
that's-
the spices, it doesn't
that's
do it
not
for me.
picky.
But to be like, I don't like it because there's
But
no
you,
side
and it's
comparable to
your
fries.
own definition of what a side is.
Yeah.
So you don't like it, but it's like if you just called it the chips and salsa side.
Can I put a poll on Twitter right now?
What are you going to say, though?
Are chips and salsa at a Mexican restaurant an appetizer or a side?
I think most people would be like, they could be both.
They are both.
All right, then I'll put both.
Okay,
Is that fair?
What is that? What is that? And then if both ends up being the top answer, then what do you say?
Then I'll be like, I disagree.
That solves it.
I think it is both, and I'm thinking of places where like you go, you immediately sit down, they bring you the chips and salsa. Then you can ask. A lot of places you'll order guac as the side. They'll bring you more chips, and then they just keep refilling the chips throughout the dinner.
Yeah.
Are chips and salsa at a Mexican restaurant
But like that doesn't solve anything. It should be like, should I discount the credit of fucking chips because they come beforehand?
No, it's
Even
not.
though I can also
Dan,
get them on the
no,
side.
you're being unreasonable.
I'm not. You are.
No, I'm not.
Because you're setting the you said I don't like them because they don't have sides. What about chips and salsa? That's not a side. If people we're saying it's both an appetizer and a side.
Yeah, you're like, their side game's not strong. So
Yeah.
people are like, it is a side. Then you're like, oh, okay, their side game is strong.
I've had
now.
my fill by that point.
What do you tell them? Why do you need a side if you're already filled?
Yeah, slow down.
I like different options on the fucking table. Is that all right? I just don't want.
Get some fucking elotes.
No, you guys fucking.
Okay, forgot about one. Nachos.
That to me is more of an appetizer.
Yeah, you could have it, but like this guy needs
Yeah.
something to pick at while he's eating his main course. Nachos is perfect.
You could have a little plate of nachos. Sure.
Nah, you guys are idiots.
Rice and beans.
Yeah, so what
Elotes.
about rice? It's a good side.
Rice plays, but
He's picky. It's
no.
fine.
I like the orange rice. I think it's really good, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's an elite rice. Some would say.
Mm-hmm.
So then, what are we talking about?
I just don't feel like it's like you got to get the meal if you're getting that. I don't know. It's
If you want to say desserts, I'm fine with saying that.
why you don't think they got a dessert.
I'm not a real churro guy. I'm trying to.
Leches.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Flan. Don't really like flan.
All right, I'm putting this out there. Our chips and salsa
Solves nothing.
Yeah.
Solves nothing.
Yes, it does.
Like that's a side debate.
But then you have to then go back
Pun
and be like,
intended.
I do actually love Mexican restaurants if it's both.
Yeah.
Because then your one objection was that they don't have sides, and if people say that it is a side, then you lose.
like
That's what I'm saying.
you guys don't understand. I'm lacking goods like barbecue. They got the fucking cornbread. They got the beans. They got the good fries. They got.
You just said you
Mac
don't
and
like
cheese.
beans.
Mac
You
and-
said you don't like beans.
It's a different bean.
You said you don't like the watery beans.
They got-
what kind of fucking beans are you having at
They got
barbecue?
that sweet heat, man. Okay.
If you do a mole sauce with the beans, they're gonna have a little heat to them. The black beans specifically.
I
I don't fuck with black beans. I'm picky.
I didn't say that.
You were about to.
I don't fuck with beans though.
All right.
I'm trying to think of more sides here. More cuisines with great sides. They exist.
Sure.
They exist.
Side salad.
Oh, off and running. 70% says appetizer. We're rolling, baby.
But that, I don't even think that makes you win. I think you're still weird for being like, this isn't good enough as a side for me, but it's good enough as an appetizer for me. It's just a matter.
There's 7 votes.
It's just a matter of when you order them during the meal.
Oh,
order
now
them
there's
as a
8.
side.
People are absolutely rolling on appetizer right now.
That doesn't change anything for me.
I think it
Because
does.
the food doesn't change. It's just the timing of when the food came out.
Well, that matters, Dan.
But how are you
Timing
saying it's
matters.
not? It's good enough as an appetizer, same food, but it's not good enough as a side, same food.
Yeah, because in your brain, you're programmed to eat. I guess why is dessert last, Dan?
But like, I don't need my entree. You're saying the entree isn't good because the side isn't good.
No.
That is what you
it's
said.
Not good.
That
What
is
you
what
I'm
said.
just saying it feels incomplete. That's it.
Because you ordered it too early. Order it on the fucking side.
Sometimes you don't order it though; they just bring it to you.
A lot,
What is
but a
that?
lot of
But that
times-
doesn't make a difference though.
What am I gonna do? Stare at them and wait until the other food comes? That's not an option.
No,
Well, if
but
if you absolutely need something as a side for your entree, then you wait.
guac is a side. Both is making a strong comeback here, up to 26.1%.
Oh, I'll log on to my brand accounts and get that going.
Oh, this appetizer's just having a field day right now.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's going down as I speak.
Yep.
Why did you quote tweet it? Did you?
I
skew the poll?
retweeted it.
All right.
I didn't skew anything. I want, but here's the thing: a lot of people are idiots. It's clearly both. Anybody who's saying it's
Yeah,
just
I
an
won't
appetizer-
even argue that it's not both, but I don't know what that does for this argument.
You'll see it my way someday, Dan.
If you aren't saying both, you are severely limiting yourself, and I think that's the right.
Fair.
Yeah,
Who said that?
a guy.
Fuck Eddie 1 2 3.
All right, he's got a real profile picture. I respect him. All right, that's a show. Anything else?
You got a noodle brain sometimes.
No, I had you in the first half. I was the one that wanted to expand because, you don't got text. I kept going on. I threw that Mexican thing. I didn't even need to do that, but I did it.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
You're wrong, but I'm glad you did it.
You're welcome. All right, that's a show. Have a nice day, everybody.